Right, early morning start. Somewhere I come every now and again. Weather's looking pretty good, hiking weather today. It's fairly cool. Doesn't look too bad. No horse trailers up in here yet. Usually is. Right. Yeah, it always makes me laugh. It says that mountain up there, if you look up the top of that one over there, that's Missing Link. That's a very popular hike from around here, but I'm not going that way. I'm heading up to, oh, that stick's still there. About 2 or 3 months ago I came through here and there was that stick leaning up against the washrooms there, and it's still there. Well, I'll be. Right, so I'm going to head up through this way. Anybody that's familiar with these trails up here will know that the majority of trails in this area start on this piece and head down through. A little soft, we had some rain by the look of it, that's good. Now I don't have my welly boots on today, and I do have quite a few creek crossings to do, so we will see how well that was thought out by the time I get there. Yeah, this first bit's always a bit muddy because it has a high concentration of horse traffic. Right, I'm going to head down this way and do some more further down. Right, this is my trail. The grass is wet, I can tell you that. Yeah. Right, but if that doesn't make for a nice start to the day, I don't know what it is. Sun will be coming over that hill over there in a minute. Isn't that nice? I can hear the creek in the bottom there. I'll do a bit closer to the creek as I get further down the trail. But this first little bit of the trail is, like I say, it's very appears a lot in my videos. This is a short piece that you have to do, and then down here it branches off all over the show. And actually, ironically, in terms of scenery, this is actually the most scenic part of this trail around this area, and I'll show you why in a minute. And this is why I like this area. This is a confluence of 2 creeks. There's a creek that goes off up around that corner, and there's another one that comes down, a big waterfall. It's a big slab waterfall that comes all the way down through there. That is a really nice spot down in there. And it's always a good gauge to how much water there is up in the valleys. So that's actually flowing pretty low, so that's good. I've come through here before now and it's absolutely roaring through there. If you see that, you know you're in for a wet trip, but today looks pretty good. Looks like the water's fairly low. Alright, so I've gone up over the top of the hill. We head back across the creek here. I'm going to turn off here in the mud. That's such a mud. The only thing with the cows and the horses up through here, they do chew it up a bit. I'm just keeping an eye on this bank up along the top of here. I've seen cats up along here before now, but they tend to hear you long before you hear them. And today I have my now you see me, now you don't hat on. Yeah, stands out a bit better. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's not much water in this creek. That's pretty good. Yep. Yeah, up along here, I've seen cats up along there before now. So, none there today that I can see. Right, over the bridge. Yeah, not much water in this creek. If this creek's running really strong, then the 2 or 3 upstream that I need to cross will be even worse. So, this one's fairly shallow, so that looks good for further upstream. Right, you know, when you get across here, you come into a meadow. Going to make some noise here. Wakey wakey, rise and shine! Seeing a lot of bear activity up this particular valley in this piece here. So always a good idea to make some noise before you come into a big clearing. Especially this one. It's, like I say, I've seen quite a bear activity up in here. Yeah. Right, if you were heading on to Ware Mountain, which is that one up through there, that pointy looking one up through there, that's Ware and Little Ware. You can go up this trail here, this trail off on the side here. You follow that, that is a really nice trail to follow around, really nice. I'm not going that way, I'm going straight on. The object of today's exercise is a hill called, some people call it Observer's Hill. In the Kananaskis, guys, it's hill 618138. I'll show you where it is once I can see it. Yeah, like I say, that's Ware Mountain up there. That's nice. Up through there. I'm hoping this grass is not going to be too wet. Now you can follow this trail round and cross the creek several times up through that way. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut across this corner. Where I'm heading is up through the corner of the trees over there. Deviates off the trail, but it doesn't matter. Right, the hills I'm going round, I can see the first bit of it. I'll show you in a second, because there's actually two peaks up there, and I've seen people do videos up through there. And I say people. Bob Spurko's gone up through there, and not Trevor Labrador. Who's the other guy? Can't remember now. Anyway, the other guy, he goes up through there, but there's actually two peaks. This is in front of me here. This is hill 618138. But a lot of people go up to that peak and they think that's it. It's not. You go up there, you can actually skirt around that one a bit. That is the actual peak. That one up there, that's where I'm going. And that will take me on to trails. I'm doing trail 48D, cutting down across onto 48C, because 48C needs a bit of trail work. And then I'll be coming back on 53 and 49. So as you can see, peak's pretty low there. Move up along there. That looks fairly quiet this morning, which is good. The sun's not up yet quite. It's almost sun o'clock. This camera doesn't really do it well. Right, if you follow this trail, it will go up and around that corner, up over there, and there's about 2 or 3 creek crossings. But if you head off up in that corner, straight across there where I'm pointing, straight up through there, this creek disappears into 2. It splits up here, and I'll show you when I get there. Basically, you want to keep this creek around the corner on your right hand side, follow it fairly closely, and that will take you to where I need to go. Right, so I've just crossed the meadow. The bridge that you come across is down in that bottom corner. Basically cut up across this meadow. Get your feet nice and wet, because it's wet feet o'clock, and you want to head into the trees here. There is a very faint trail through here. The cows do use it. Now be careful up in here, because it braids in a million directions. If I'm going to Ware Mountain, this is actually the way I go, because this cuts a big corner off part of the trail. Bit of a shortcut. As you can see, once you get across the meadow, it's actually a fairly reasonably well trodden trail. But you've got to be careful, because there are 100,000 million billion trails in here, at least that many. Yeah. And it's very easy in here to peel off around to the left, and that will bring you out on the Ware Creek Trail, which will take you to Ware Mountain. Don't want to go that way. Oh, there's no water in here too. That's a good sign. Yeah. That's quite often wet in the bottom there. Right. So as you can see, once you get into this forest, it braids all over the bloody show. Now off on my right, there is a meadow, and I'm going to go up here. And the idea of the exercise is to keep that meadow visible to the right. I'll show you as we go. So there's trails everywhere in here. If you go that way, that will take you across to Ware Creek Trail. You want to go this way. See that meadow down in there? You want to keep that on that side. As long as you can see that meadow, you go in the right direction. Basically follow this bank along all the way up through these trees. Once I've gone through all these trees, I'll show you where the next point is. So having kept the meadow there on the right hand side, follow it along over a little hilly piece down the other side. So up in there, there's 100 little cow trails. Every one of them is the right way. As long as you're heading this way, it's good. I'm just debating whether to cut across this grass and get wet feet, or whether to try and strain the trees a bit. Yeah. Yes, that grass is wet. Yeah. I should have stayed up a little higher, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to head back up a little higher. Not that I need to, it will just save getting absolutely soaked. Follow the bank along. Yeah, so as long as you keep these meadows on this side, you are good. I normally walk down through the grass, but I think I'll cut up through the forest this way just to stay a little bit drier. So all I've done is come back up that bank, and I'm opting to wander along the top of the bank. There's a million cow trails on here. Now I want to kind of keep that way. Like I said earlier on, it's very easy in here to wander off to the left, because that's the easiest trails to walk on. Yeah. But the top of this ridge is good. I'm just going to follow it along a bit. Quite a lot of deadfall and crap in here, but the cows do make kind of a path. They're very good at making paths, actually. Oh, I'm descending again. How much grass have we got out there now? Let's have a look. Yeah, so the meadow I want is that one in the bottom, but I don't really want to be walking right across the grass. So normally I would, no problem whatsoever, but I will try to stay dry for a little bit at least. Yeah. At the far end of here there's a creek that peels around to the left. I'm going to follow that. As you can see, I mean, it's not hard. The meadows are all down in the bottom there. As long as you can see those meadows, you're going in the right direction, so it doesn't matter which trail you take. There are a million of them in here. Yeah. It's easy walking, it's just wet. There we go. As you can see, I mean, it's not dense forest. It's slowly being taken over by alder. Yeah, a lot of alder in here. But follow this ridge along, and I want to go down that way. I've come up through here before now, but the grass is not quite knee high, but it's wet. This is much drier. A bit more ziggy zaggy, but much drier. And this is more my kind of trail. This is the stuff. This hill 618 138 is more of a route finding exercise than following a well-trodden trail. There is a piece of an old exploratory road that goes up one side, which I shall be using. Now I've got to be careful here. Let's keep going this way now. Trying to stay as dry as I can. I've got the meadow down there, so that's good. I know if I cut across roughly this way, I've got the sun right behind me now, so that's good. So that's nature's compass. This time of the morning, that's nature's compass. I've got to peel across the middle here and then head right. I say there are a million trails in here. See, the good trails all go that way. And the reason for that is the cows know that if they go down Weir Creek, it takes them to a whole bunch of other meadows. And cows like to eat stuff in meadows. So follow the cow trails. They usually go to a good food source somewhere. But that's not where I want to go. I cut through this forest. As I say, it's not hard to walk through here at all. Yeah, somebody put a bit of flagging tape over there. Yeah. This is how well flagging tape turns out. There's a pink piece in a tree over there, and that is roughly where I need to be actually. I can still see the meadow through the trees down through there. So this meadow, there's a creek in the bottom, and that creek will bring you up and around a corner, and it's that corner you're looking for. If this was dry, I'd just come up through the meadows, and it's much easier to see, but it's not dry. So, yeah. See, somebody's marked this. There's tape there. There's tape there. It goes up through the meadow over here. I want to follow it up and around that corner up over that way. So this might have been horse people put this in here. I don't know, but I need to be more over that way. So I will do that and do some more when I get to there. Right, the creek I need to follow is down in the bottom there. I can hear it. So again, it's a bit grassy down in there. I would normally walk right along the creek and show you that. Hey, I recognise this tree. One of my other videos, I stopped for lunch right there. Yeah. So if you keep following this piece of trail up, it will take you onto a cut line. So if you reach a cut line, you've gone a little bit too far. You want to come back and down onto this creek. I'm going to cut across here somewhere. See if I can find myself down towards the creek a bit more. I can hear it. Where I'm going to cross is up in there somewhere. So we'll head up to that corner. Like I say, up through here there are a million cow trails. There's no point in me showing you a fixed trail and whatever, because there isn't one. Yeah. What there is a bank. Let me show you. There's a bank here. I don't know if you can hear it, but down in the bottom there is a creek. So as long as you're following this along, and the creek's down the bottom there, you're going in the right direction. So this creek, just before it gets to the cut line, does a right hand turn. Well, just before the right hand turn there's a bit of an old exploratory road, and that's where you need to cross the creek. So I'll go along on top of this bank a little bit further. I'm going to cut down to the creek because I don't want to go all the way up to the cut line. So you can't get lost in here. It's almost impossible to get lost in here. Yeah. There's another trail down the bottom there. I'm going to cut down to the bottom of the hill now, get closer to the creek so I don't miss my turn off on the corner. Right, so across the creek, I'm up near the corner. There is no flagging or anything up near here, so once you get near this corner, basically just cross the creek anywhere you could find. I came across here, there's not much water in there. And you can see there was an old road in here. You can see where it's been benched out. And the trail kind of follows itself up around the corner. Oh, my shoelace is undone. So I'm going to follow it around here a little bit. Where I need to be going is up that hill in front of me there. That's where I've got to go. I've just been down there and had a scout. I couldn't find anything on the old road. So I'm going to go around the corner and see if I can find anything up around that way. Right, so the creek that comes to the meadow is down around there. You followed the other bank. The creek comes up here, around this corner, and then the creek now turns up that valley you can see out there where the sunshine is. Right, you have to kind of cross before you get to that corner, and then you come up through the trees and you will find the remains of an old road. We're basically going to follow that uphill for a bit. There is a piece of an old road that goes around that way. So there's a well-trodden deer trail that comes up through here, so it's fairly easy to follow. Just kind of follow it up and around the corner. If you find yourself heading around the corner, or you find yourself down on that creek down there, you're in the wrong spot. You can come back that way if you want. There's loads of trails up in here. Where I'm heading today is up that way. So I'm just going to cut off a few ends so that people can see it's a trail, and on I go. Alright, I've just come up that way. 1 or 2 small pieces of crap to clear off the trail. Lots of deer trails up in here. Nice views beginning to come out through there. Yeah. Can't remember what that hill's called. I'll have a look when I get further up. That could be the hill, that one there. It might be the runs up the back of Little Ware, I'm not sure. It's either that hill or the next hill. Too many trees, can't tell. Right, once I'm at the top, I'll have a look. Always remember to look back as you start getting some views. Gaining some elevation. I don't know what the total elevation is on this hill. No idea, I didn't look it up, just in case it's a lot. Right, this is an old piece of road. As you can see, this is an old forestry road that goes up through here. You've got to be careful not to peel off down and back into the valley. So, general rule on this trail is, here's an old saw cut. If you're heading up, you're going in the right direction. Until you get to the top. Once you get to the top, you want to stop going up, because that's as far as you can go. Right, I will continue up the trail and do some more when I come to important turn-offs. So you've just come up that hill, The valley is off on that side. You'll come to a large rock. If you want to continue up the valley, you can continue up that way. Get off, bugs. And there's a couple of places you can go right over this hill and down the other side. This big rock and up through there, that's an old piece of road. That's the one you want to take up through there. So you've just come up through the forest that way. There's a single tree here that's cut off about 4 feet up. And you can kind of continue on up this way, but from here on in it's kind of a little bit of a bushwhack, and just follow your way uphill. You'll come to a first peak and you'll think that's it. It's not. You pass the first peak, head roughly northish, and it'll take you on to the second peak where the top of the meadows are. That's where you want to aim for. Now that particular rock there looks like it has my name on it. It says, "Dave, please stop for a rest." So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I've just come up through the forest that way. The trail still continues to follow its way up through here. But like I say, this is more of a route find than a trail from here on up to the top of the hill. So just follow it uphill and you're all good. I'm stopping for a rest. So this looks like the end of where the road ended. Debris pile, I guess this is where the bulldozer stopped. So where I'm heading is that way, up through the top. Got the sun over on my right, so I need to head that way. Basically straight on, just work your way up through the mountain, up through this way. Like I say, it's more of a route find than a trail, but if you head your way back down that way, I've cut off loads of little sticks all the way down there so you can see them clear as a bell. But I've put a couple of bits of flagging in places, but try to avoid that if I can. Right, so I'm going to head across and up through this way. So you've just come up through the forest that way. You'd have wandered up, you're now on the top of a hill, and you think to yourself, hey, I'm on the top of a hill, this is it. No. If you go back down that way, take you down the valley. That's very steep down that way. Believe it or not, I can't quite see it through the trees, but straight through that way, you have to go down a little bit, and then you'll find yourself starting to go back up again. That is actually the way you want to go, believe it or not. So I'm going to find a way through here that's fairly reasonable, down here, and then back up the next side. This is trail 48D, and this hill I'm on is that 618 138. Some people call it Observer's Hill. I've heard Bob Spurko refer to it as Observer's Hill. I don't know if that's the correct name or not, but in the Kananaskis guides it's 618 138, and this is the first little peak. The second little peak is that way, so that's where I'm going to go. Right, after descending down that first little bit of hill, you'll find yourself in this pick up sticks forest. It's fairly open, it's easy to walk through, and our buddies the cows have been up through here, so there's actually some reasonably wide bits to walk through here, so it's actually not too bad. So where we're heading is straight through that way. Sun is off to my right, so I need to start heading up here in a second, and I'm going to follow this up to the top of the actual hill. It's not very far from the first peak to the second peak. It's not very far at all. Right, on I go. Okay, I'm stopping for a rest because I'm not at the up yet. Starting to get some nice mountain views though. Look at that lot. That's all Blue Rock and what have you out that way. Yeah, Blue Rock, Burns Mountain. Down around that way, I think is Shankalashi and all that lot. That mountain right in front of me, the pointy one, right there, that's Mount Ware. That's a very popular hike. And Little Ware then must be that other peak that I saw. I can see it through the trees over there. That's Little Ware. And to go from Little Ware, you can just cut up through that forest all the way up to there. That's a very popular hike. Wouldn't be at all surprised to find people up there today. Very popular hike, that is. Yeah. Right. I'm heading up, even more up a considerably smaller hill than Mount Ware. Although I don't know what it is in elevation change difference, but this is an easier walk. Right, on I go. Right, I am still on the top of up. I've run out of up, therefore I must be at the top of the hill. I have a crow or something behind me who's making a lot of racket. Like I say though, if that don't make it for a nice walk up here. Look at that. That's nice. Yeah, that's that mountain over there. That's Little Ware, and Big Ware is that one down in there. That's Big Ware. Oh yeah, you get a great view from up here. Yeah, apparently from just up north, there's all these meadows and that up through here. Just down through these trees, there's a bunch of meadows. Now, the valley that's at the bottom there, that's the one that you can come up. That's where the cut line runs up through there. If you follow that cut line up at the bottom, it'll take you at the bottom of that valley. At the bottom of here, there's a trail that runs up over there, this one, and into the valley on the next side, which is where I'm going to go down. This trail I've come up is 48D. I'm stood on top of hill 618138 in the Kananaskis guides. Down through the bottom of there, I'm basically going to bushwhack down across the meadows down that way into the bottom of that valley. And I should intersect 48C, which will run down to basically like a 6-lane highway, which is trail 53. If anybody's ever done 53, you'll know that it's a very well trodden trail. It's a really nice trail. But if this is not a nice spot to come and sit and have something to eat, just admire that. Look at it, absolutely amazing. I see a rock down there with my name on it. I'm going to move all my gear down there. I'm going to sit and have something to eat. Right, it's lunch o'clock. Actually, that tree's right in the middle of my way for my view. However, that is actually the best chair. This is the best chair, so I will enjoy this. What an amazing place. Fairly easy walk up here. Crossing that creek at the bottom is a bit tricky, because you've got to kind of find the first part of that old road trail. Once you find that, it's easy, just keep going up. Yeah. And it is quiet. There is no wind, no nothing. Yeah. I didn't bring tea today, so we'll have to do a cheers drink. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's quite nice out over that way. There's a nice meadowy bit over there. I don't know what that is. Surveyor's Ridge, and that runs off up that way, and volcanoes over here. So I don't know. I'll have to look that up on a map, because I can see a bit through there that looks like I need to explore that. Yeah. I've been up most of these mountains. I've been through all of these forests over through here. But, it's probably breakfast o'clock, actually. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably 7:30, 8:30, something like that, 8 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there. Yeah. Whenever you're eating food, always make sure you drink. You need the water to break the food down. If you put a horse in a field that's full of hay and grass and what have you, it won't eat it unless there's water. Yeah, if there's no water, horse will starve to death. You could put it in the most food you've ever seen in your life, but the horse will actually starve to death. So I'm told that the views out through that way are actually quite stunning. So what I will do is we'll have one last look around from this point. You have to agree, I mean, that's a good rock. The perfect place to sit for lunch. Breakfast in this case. Nice view out through there. Eh? I'll take that. But what I'm going to do is head on down through there, because I can see a bit of a clearing down through there. So I'm going to head down through that way and see if I can get a decent bit of view to the north there. But I have to say, this certainly makes the walk up here well worthwhile. Ware Mountain, Little Ware, and a lot of big mountains over there. There ain't no way I'm ever climbing those. That's all blue rock. That great big rock wall over there, that's Blue Rock Mountain. Yeah. Not going over there. There are people that I know that absolutely love wandering along the top of rocks and stuff like that. So if I'm in a forest like this, right, if I suddenly got stuck, there is so much firewood and so much material here. I've got tarps with me. I've got everything I need with me to, you know, spend 2, 3, 4 days here if I had to. However, if I'm up there on that rock over there and I get stuck for a couple of days, that is a whole different ball game. You can rapidly get into trouble. But in here, I have the ability to make fire. Fire will keep you alive. Yeah. The only thing that would limit my stay up here is fresh water, because I know there is a creek down the bottom here. I can go down there and get water. But that's a long way down just to get some water, I can tell you. I don't know what the elevation is here. I will look it up when I get back, and I'll see if I can put it in the video for you. But I will stop rabbiting. I'm going to head on up that way and see what I can find. Well, I've descended down out of the trees into the top of the meadows here a little bit. Again, Little Ware's over there, Big Ware, Surveyor's Ridge, Volcano Ridge and all that lot's over that way. Where I need to be now is down in the bottom of this valley, because I'm cutting across from this valley up through this one over there somewhere, and then down into that bottom valley over there. So I tried coming through the trees at the top there, and it was pretty bloody rough. So I'm going to wander along this way a little bit, because this seems to be a lot easier walking, yeah, than where I was just now, I can tell you. Yeah. I tried walking through that lot, but it's not very pleasant. So I'm going to cut across here, and I need to be heading roughly north, and it should take me down. This looks like an old piece of a road, actually. Yeah. Trouble is, up in here there's so many exploratory roads and old logging roads and God knows what up in here. There's so much of it, it's everywhere. You can't say, oh, follow this track or this track, because there's hundreds of them. Yeah. So I will swing round to the north side of this mountain. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to bushwhack down through there somewhere in a minute, because these mountains up in here, they suddenly turn steep on you. I would say, actually, looking at this, yeah, this is an end of an old road. You can see where they stopped ploughing. Yeah. See? One gap. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't that make a nice picture? Perfect. Mount Ware, right in the gap. This is where the end of the road was. I tried coming down through that lot and it was a bit rough. So I'm going to follow it down through this way for a little bit. Bushwhack down the hill. Shouldn't take me long. And then once I get into the bottom of this little gully piece here, I'm going to turn right. This is trail 48D. 48C is in the bottom of there somewhere. That somewhere being the operative word, because I can tell you now it's not marked. So, but it is there. The trail is there, but just got to find it. Right, well, I've just bushwhacked down that lot, and to find 48C, almost impossible. However, I did just come out of the bush over there and scare the crap out of 2 guys on bicycles. I think they're heading up Volcano by the look of it. Or Surveyor's Ridge, one or the other. They just went up that way. Right, 48C is supposed to come out down here, so I will head down there and see if I can find it. Right, so I've had to backtrack up 48C after my little adventure bushwhacking down the mountain, which was down through that side. You come up to the second bridge. I'll show you in a second. Somebody's already put some flag tape up here, so that's nice. This is 48C. There's plenty of trail marks there. I'm just going to clear out some of this brush, this alder down here. You can see the loads of it. Just going to clear out a bit of that. And there's some marker tape that goes all the way down here, and that will join you back onto trail 53. And once you're on 53, you turn right. You'll come out by a little bridge. You turn right at 53, and then away you go. And I'll do some more when I get back down there. Right, so that is 48C taken care of. Just down around that corner is the little bridge. I'll show you that in a second. Just past the bridge, you come up round. Before you get to the first bend, if you look off over this way, you'll see there's a marker here, and there's some red tape that goes off up through there. Just follow the red tape and you'll come to, just up through these trees, you'll find a little junction. Turn right that little junction, follow it uphill. I've put a bit of red tape up in there. I have cut a bunch of log ends. I prefer to cut log ends to mark trail rather than putting up flagging, but this trail 48C has been kind of lost, but it's no longer lost. It's really easy to follow, just straight up over the top. And this takes you up into the next valley, the other side of that hill. That hill I came down this morning was 618138, or Surveyor's Hill, whichever name you'd like to use. And this brings you back out on trail 53. This is trail 53, and this is a really nice. This is so nice after bushwhacking all that crap. Let me tell you, it's kind of brutal. But this is why it was so hard to find that trail. As you can see, it's now very easy. Across here, and right there. I cleared some of the what I call ladder fuel off the bottom of the tree there. Just to get rid of some of that crap. Yeah, so that is your turn off. That takes you up 48C, and then you can go up the hill and down 48D if you want, or you can just continue C right across, and then just down from there is the second bridge. There's two bridges on here, so your turn off's just up there on the left. There's two bridges here. I love these bridges. Back in the day when they used to actually put a lot of good infrastructure in and what have you. We should go back to that, you know, because this stuff, you can see where the pathway was cut out the side of the hill here. This was probably an old exploratory road by the look of it, and it's been turned into a trail. So I mean, this is the stuff that lasts. This is the stuff that builds community, hiking community, gets people out and about, gets them off their computers, and then come out here and enjoy the nature. I've actually seen quite a lot of people. I just saw a group of 3 go off up there with a couple of dogs. Nice to see they're on leads. Well done, on leashes. Nice to see. And there was a couple of guys earlier on bikes. I scared the hell out of them because I came out the bush just up there. Said, yeah, they were quite surprised when I walked out the trees. And yeah, there it is. So 48C is now good to go. I'm going to head back down this way. I did start clearing out some of the alder off here just now, and but I was too far down. I ended up at the other bridge. There's 2 bridges on this little section, 2 small bridges, and I knew I'd gone too far because I got to the other bridge, so I had to come back up. I'm out in this area. I'm not sure when I'm coming back out this way again, but today is a fantastic day for hiking, and that trail is now good to go. Well, considering this is in the middle of nowhere trail, it's pretty busy. I'm just in half a dozen people on horses come through. Yeah, it's actually quite a group of people that's in today. They were Australians, I think. But, definitely, the last guy I was talking to, he was most definitely Australian. Yeah. Now people think I'm Australian sometimes, but I'm not. Right. Yeah, this is that hill through the trees over there that you can see. That is hill 618138. And it actually bushwhacked down all the way down, straight from the top, pretty much straight down into the creek. And I only came out about 100 feet from where I needed to be. There is a faint trail the other side of this creek that runs down through there. It's a bit wet in places. If you're going to do 48C, you're better off coming up this trail after the second wooden bridge. The wooden bridge goes off to the left, swings around to the right. Just past there you'll see a sign on the tree, and head in there, turn right up over the hill. There's a cut line through there, follow that up over, and once you're the other side of that valley, once you're the other side of the hill, you'll kind of just go up and over, and you'll find yourself down in the bottom of the valley. It's got a creek in it. What you're going to do is you're going to turn left there, and that will take you, if you follow that, will take you all the way back to the parking lot where you started at the end of Gorge Creek Road. Right, isn't this nice? Oh, what a great show. I was umming and ahhing about coming out today. Hey, look at it. We got a rainbow up there. See in the cloudlet? Got a rainbow. Woohoo! A horizontal rainbow. Yeah. You only get rainbows that touch the ground when the sun is 40 degrees to the horizon. Yeah. Or less. And that is, sometimes you can get those out here. I can see bits of it going all the way around. Sometimes you can get them to go right round in a whole circle, and that's actually really cool. So, yep. Skybow, I called it, I guess that'd be called. Right, I'm going to head on down this way. It's nice to be walking on an almost flat trail that's easy to follow. Right, on I go. Right, well, I've stopped off at a very important junction. I'll show you this junction in a minute. Stopped to have a rest and a bite to eat. Oh, a great day. I can enjoy my food and don't have to hold the camera. It's good. This is an important junction. Trail 53 is over there. Can't remember what this one's called. There's another one that goes off up there, just turns off up through here and goes up towards the volcano. That's called the protest route for whatever reason. I can't remember why it was called the protest route, but something to do with all that. And that's my way back. I'm going to stop, have a bite to eat. If this doesn't make for a good lunch spot, I don't know what does. Done some miles today. At least I got that trail sorted out. That 48C has been bugging me for a while. 48D is easy enough. 48C. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Not as good as tea. I'd rather have my tea with it. There's a honeybee or bumblebee or something or other, some kind of bee just landed down here. It's all over the clover. Yeah. Likes that's for sure. There's another one. Very small bee. Oh, a fantastic day for walking the mountains. Don't get much better than this. Pine needles, eh? It's the only trouble bushwhacking down the mountain. Bloody pine needles getting everywhere. It's when they get in your boots, that's when it gets really bad. It's about mid-morning o'clock. When it's lunchtime, the sun will be over there. So, yeah, it's about mid-morning o'clock. The Australian people that I bumped into, there was a bigger bee over there. I bumped into, he asked me if I'd been camping. I said, no, I was up here at 6 o'clock this morning clearing trees. Yeah. Actually, I think it was about, I don't know. I was up here probably 6:30, I guess, 7 o'clock, something like that. When I was at the top of the hill over there, 618, 138, I was up top of there about 8 o'clock. I'm guessing about 8. No. I don't carry a watch. If you carry a watch, you're always looking at the damn thing. Yeah. Good spot for a rest. Right, I'm going to sort out the rest of my gear and head on down the trail. What a great spot for a lunch break, eh? Can't get much better than that. Right, that up there is a horse trail. And actually most of these around here are used a lot by horses. Over here we have one of our legendary next to useless signs. Right, we are, where are we? You know, Gorge Creek. Where the hell are we? It's Gorge Creek down there, up over there. North. Gorge 3 points over there. Huh. Okay, so we are down in here. Yeah, see what I mean? This map's about bloody useless. I know exactly where I am, but they got a little thing here that says you are here. Where? Oh, I see. So instead of spending the money to put a drill in here and put a screw in it to say you are here and paint it red, what they've done is they put it. Okay, so that's the volcano trail. So 618 Hill is here, so I went up around here and back around that way. So the protest route, which is across here, this one, somebody has marked that in there. Nice, yeah, somebody's marked that on there. So yeah, instead of putting a screw in there, they've just put like a little drill divot right there. These maps, I'll be quite honest with it, they are next to bloody useless, because they're on such a huge scale that if you're down in here and you're worried about that concept of scale, it's huge. That is a huge area. Yeah. Either way, I came that way. That takes you up the volcano if you want to go that way. You can go to Surveyor's Ridge and that up that way as well. Good spot to stop for lunch, I have to admit. Now somebody's put a couple of logs across here for me to balance across rather than getting wet feet. So we'll see how well I am at balancing. Normally when I do this I just put two side by side and tie a piece on the end of it. But as you can see, there's been a lot of water flowing through here. So let's do my... There we go. Perfect. Yeah. So when I build these, I wouldn't build it there because it floods. I've seen the water literally right up the bank to over there. I've seen this water across here like 18 inches, 2 foot deep. In spring runoff, trust me, this flows pretty good. So, but all the way down through here, there's creeks and water, and yeah, it's an interesting route, that's for sure. Now that mountain that I was up, 618, 138, there is another way that you can go up if you really like bushwhacking. I told somebody else about this, Mark. There's a guy called Mark at the trail, and I told him about this route. I'll show you where it goes. And it is a total bushwhack. It's top to bottom. I've never found anything like a trail up in there, other than like goat trails and deer trails and stuff. But basically, if you head off a bit further down, I came down that way once. That's why I know it's there. It was actually quite pleasant. It was reasonable. It was bushwhack the whole way. There was a couple of wet spots in there, but other than that, that's good. And it actually brings you out very close to this meadow. Down in front of me, there's a big meadow, and we'll head out into that meadow in there in a second. And when I bushwhacked, I came down through here, a bit further up. I didn't bring my hat with me today because I figured it would be hazy, and it's not overly hazy. I have my woolly hat, my orange one. I've got my toque, but it's a bit warm for a woolly hat. You need a sunshade hat. Didn't bring mine today. Not going to worry about it. Right, where I came down and out was just along here somewhere. And if you follow it, follow this through these trees, off up through that way. Where are we? Oh, hang on. Yep, here we are. Right, I came out literally here. So, if you watch this video, Mr. Mark, the other way up that mountain, if you're feeling adventurous and you want to do some bushwhacking all the way up or all the way down, you can actually head off up through here and just follow the ridge all the way up. Just keep gaining height all the way up. Once you're up the top, that's it. You come out the back of that hill, and the last bit of it right at the very top is actually pretty steep, but it'll actually bring you out the back of there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Right, now I'm coming down into what is arguably one of the nicest meadows around here. Love these meadows down through here. This bit of the walk is I save this bit for last quite often, because it is so nice just to walk down through here. Yeah, came through here one morning, one of my videos, and it was absolutely plastered with spider webs. I've never seen so many bloody spider webs. They're everywhere. Right, we've got cloud building, new cloud building over there. This time of the year, this is why I get up early and do stuff. Right, so the hill I went up this morning, I cut down through the forest over that way, up round the back of there. The hill that I went up is actually up over that way, but it now I just have the nice easy almost flat couple of creek crossings, walk back. Oh, I see some people down there in the distance. I see something in the distance. What is that? Let me just check, and I'll do some more tomorrow. I just bumped into some more very nice people there, a couple of people. I just stopped for a chat with them. I could see his head through the grass as I was coming across. See, they've just travelled across that way. Once you get to here, you can just see one of the old red diamonds on the tree over there where those people are walking. I could just see his head moving through the grass. I'm like, okay, what is that? I've seen a lot of bear down in here, mostly black bear, but you never know. I'm very good at spotting, so I can't read a piece of paper in front of me without having my glasses on. But I can tell you, anything that moves in the forest, I can see it. I've been out walking with people and that, and I say, hey, there's a deer up there, or there's a bear up there, or whatever, and they're like, where? And they can't even see it. I can see it. A number of people I've spoken to, and they said they'd never seen a cougar. But, I've only ever seen two. I had to chase one out of a tree, and there was another one sitting up on a rock watching me. The one in the tree, believe it or not, was up at Grassy Lakes of all bloody places. Oh look, here we go, more people. There's a lot of people out here today. Right, I'll put this away and do some more in a bit. Well, I just bumped into another guy. He talked to me about hiking. Looks like we've got some dark clouds brewing. This time of the year, you've got to be careful not to get caught out here in the thunderstorms. Because you get up the top of Volcano Ridge or any of that in the thunderstorms, that's quite brutal up there. So not wise at all. So I will head back now. I must have seen, what have we seen now? 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 people I've seen so far today. And this is the quiet end of this trail. If you go to the northern end of this area, you'll be lucky to see anybody. But only thing you'll find up there is cows. But this end, yeah, 19 people I've seen so far. Yeah, and they're all heading to the same place. They're all going up Volcano Ridge, yeah, or Volcano Mountain. And it's a very nice place. I know exactly why people go there, because it's really nice. But this meadow is really cool. Not so cool those clouds. Yeah, oh, that's good. That guy I was just talking to, he hadn't been hiking for years and years and years. He's having trouble finding the Daffrin's books. I said to him, a lot of them are being reprinted because the trails got damaged in 2013, so a lot of those books are being redone, which is another reason why I was checking out All Smoke and what have you the other week. I did send her an email there the other day. Yeah, you know, a nice little bridge, eh? Yeah, sometimes you come through here and this is actually a raging little creek. Yeah, but it's nice. Back in the day they used to build these wonderful little bridges. Yeah, now there doesn't seem to be quite the enthusiasm for all that stuff. There needs to be, because it's actually very important. Yeah. Right, I'm going to head this mountain over here on this side. I've got to go around the bottom of that one to get back to where I started this morning. I've got a couple of creek crossings to do. Looking at those clouds, I think I'm going to knock it up a gear. There shouldn't be much deadfall clear in here. I cleared out, I couldn't even tell you how much deadfall I cleared out on 48D and C. Bloody loads, yeah. So, couldn't tell you. Must have been, at a guess, I'd say probably 50 plus trees, easily 50 plus. Yeah, that was a busy day. Normally I try to cap it at about 30. If I'm clearing 30 trees, that's a busy day. But, I don't do this bit very often, so must have been a good 50 trees I cleared out of there today. Anyway, right, back down through. I've got one more little meadow and a couple of creek crossings, and then I can head back round to where I'm parked. And that cut that corner off. So I've got one creek crossing here. Last time I came here, this was absolutely full of butterflies. But what do we got? Oh, that's a nice flat stone there. It's a flat stone with a piece of mud. Where I've got some lots of flat stones and lots of mud. So let's take this bit. There we go. The other advantage of coming this time of the year. Look at it. Easy creek crossing. There's another one up here. This one up here tends to be, it's wider, so it tends to be a lot less shallow. A lot shallow, sorry. I've stopped here for picnic breaks before now. This is a nice little corner. Little rocky banks. Nice little rocky islands out in the middle of the creek there. There we go, got some butterflies. Recycling the nutrients from the horses. Horses are very good at nutrient distribution. Let's put it that way. Yeah, nice. I've stopped here before now, but at the moment, if you stop, the mosquitoes will catch up with you. So I'm going to head back across this one, across the next creek crossing, and then back up the hill. On I go. Right. Creek's looking very good. The bit of forest that I cut through this morning, and I said just keeping the meadow on my right, was that bit of forest over there up through those trees. That's where I went this morning. Off up that valley you can see over there, up that hill down the other side, and then back round the valley on the far side. The cloud's building quite fast there. Either way, yeah, a nice place. There it is. Yeah. Raspberry bushes are looking good. Yeah. Wild raspberries. They are so good. You don't tend to find too many of them left though. I know a few places where I can find them, but not too many. Wildlife will have them away. Wild raspberries are much smaller than like the domestic cultivated raspberries, I guess. They're much smaller, but oh, do they taste good. They are so good. Yeah. Yeah, this is nice down through here. I do like this area. Yeah, it's got attacked by a grasshopper. Yeah, he wasn't looking where he was going. Right, my next creek crossing is coming up here. Wind's starting to build. But, you've got to watch the mountains around here. People they head off up and they think, oh yeah, I still got 6 to 8 hours of sunshine or whatever left. Once those thunderclouds start, and those are thunderclouds, once that crap starts, the top end of Blue Rock Mountain, which I could see over that way a little while ago, yeah, that's starting to disappear into the haze. It's not a bad time of the day for me to be heading out. Been up here in a thunderstorm. That's quite interesting. Yeah. I guess because the mainstream Rockies are just behind them, you know. We've got 3,000 metre mountains just behind them there. It tends to push it up and over, and the storms can get quite brutal. Right, now this creek crossing here can be a little bit more interesting. This one has a lot more water in it. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. What do we got for rocks? Right, I'm going to put this camera away in case I drop it in the water. I know it's a GoPro and it doesn't really matter, but I'd rather not drop it in the water, and I'd rather not get wet feet. Right, over I go. Right, there's the creek I just come across, and just for reference, this is the meadow that I cut across this morning. When I came up here, I walked across the grass, and my trail started in the trees just over there. That's the way I went round, so I've come round in like a giant lollipop, if you like. And this first bit of the trail up through here, you can see in this bit how much they got washed out. I was just talking to a guy because he was saying about trying to get the Daffrin's books, and I said they're all being reprinted because a lot of the trails really did need an update because the floods of 2013, they just butchered it, absolutely butchered it. Isn't that nice up through there? Look. Yeah. Oh, more hikers. Somebody heading off up there. At this end of the trail is where those people there are heading up Ware Creek. That's the Ware Creek Trail. So this is the end of the trail where you're likely to bump into a lot of people. Yeah. The guy I was just talking to said he was down at by Junction Falls there, and he said there must have been 200 people. 200 people down there. So it was an absolute zoo. He said just crazy. And he went somewhere. Where else did he say he went? Oh, I know. He went up to Elbow Lake, where the Elbow River starts. He was there was a couple I were talking to, and they were up in there. And they said it was absolutely crawling with people. And that is a very popular hike because it goes around to Ray Lake, Ray Glacier, and all that kind of good stuff. And basically, it's a really good hike, fantastic views, but also a fairly easy accessible one. So a lot of people, the first 1.5 kilometers is up, reasonably steep up, but once you've done the first 1.5, it's actually fairly easy. Just walking up through the valley. But again, it heads on up to Tombstone. They went up to Tombstone there. So just be careful if you head out that way, because it's not too difficult to get in the trouble if the weather changes. Right, I'm going to head down across the bridge. Right, back down at the bridge. Quite often stop here and have a bite to eat, but I'm not going to today. The clouds are closing in on me fast. I only have about a kilometre and a half, is that, to go to get back to where I need to be. Clouds are over this side already. Look how fast they're building. Right, gonna head on my way. Right, here I am back here about a half a day later. Sun's right round to like midday o'clock now. So must be about middle of the day. Yeah. It's a very nice walk around. Can't odds that. This is actually one of the nicest views along the way. And it's ironic because it's almost the first place you start. Yeah. But I think I'll use that as my closeout picture. Thank you very much for coming along, and see you on the next one.